The formula in Naples is to support your brand and facial recognition. All I'm selling is my time, really.
Where do you think business owners go wrong?
I certainly never thought I'd be sitting here talking about it like this. I had zero sales. It's professional problem solving at the highest level.
What are you working on right now personally, spiritually, or professionally that excites you and challenges you?
Without my social media, the magazine is still a one-dimensional piece.
Welcome to the Brighter Side Podcast, episode number 7. I'm Cory Adams. This is Greg Dodge of Naples City Lifestyle Magazine. He's my guest. Greg, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So I met Greg recently. We sat down together and he helped me kind of get some ideas for my own business. And I've been trying to get him on the show here for a little while. Finally, it worked out in his schedule. And so what I'd like to start the show with, man, is just me, before I ask you a bajillion questions. I just like for you to kind of give a warm intro to like who you are, what you do, and then I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of stuff. So
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. Greg Dodge, I'm the owner of Naples City Lifestyle Magazine. We are a direct mail magazine here in Naples. We are completely concentrated in Naples. We go to every home in old Naples. So no condos, no high-rise apartments. Actually has an average home of just under $8 million. We don't get delivered to a home under $2.5 million. And that's the magazine. It's great for home services, it's great for small business, and that's what we really concentrate on from a magazine standpoint. We have one right here in front of us. We put 8 to 10 small business owners per month on the cover. That is on purpose. I'd rather tell 10 stories than one story. These pictures, and when you go to the mailbox, you pick out this magazine, you see somebody you know, you're going to open it and you're going to read what they said, and that helps the other 7 or 8 that you don't know, because you most likely are going to read them as well. And so we are all about supporting small business, and how we do that is we throw 6 to 8 networking events a month, so almost 2 a week, and for the sole purpose of being a party, but the underbelly is the networking. And so we go to great restaurants here in town, great hotels, throw an actual party so that you're working all day, you can go have some drinks. Of course, you're there to network. Of course, you're there to meet people. But you are in a room full of friendly people that were, when they first came to my parties, they were in the same place as you are. They didn't know anybody. And one of the loveliest things that's come out of this after 3 years is it's everyone's instinct to put out their hand and say hello if they have not seen you before or meet you. And so it's a very friendly party that way. We don't do name tags. We don't really do microphones. It's all about kind of drinking and socializing. You don't have to drink, but it's there. And that we get together to have a good time and network and meet and find business commonalities.
Yeah. So where, I mean, you're not from Naples. So like, tell me kind of like, walk me through like, where are you from? Like
excuse me. Last 20 years before moving to Naples, I was in Philadelphia. Lifelong person in the restaurant business. I had 10 restaurants in Philly going into COVID, and just couldn't get my company out of COVID. It was an interesting environment. I was already having some issues going into COVID. In order to make it, I would have needed a huge cash infusion, and I just didn't have, say, that one really big investor that would trying to save his money.
Sure.
I had a lot of small investors, and but it was something I just didn't get out of. And so I was 52, kind of looking at the abyss, and I had never done anything but restaurants, and restaurants aren't something you just go and, let's go build another one.
No.
It's usually a 1.5 to 2 year process. So had to kind of reinvent myself. And during COVID, I had spent some time in Naples, fell in love with it, said, if I have to make a change, I'm going to make a change to come here. Then I had to figure out a business. I don't know about you, Cory, but I am unemployable. I didn't want a job. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be my own boss. That's not something that's very easy to come by. Magazine came available. I took a shot at it. Very difficult. It's a very difficult thing. It's got a lot of trapdoors. Knock on wood, I've been doing okay. I think probably the most successful thing I've ever done is not failing at this.
Wow. Well,
I would hate to say I'm successful. I think that's a little,
I know
a
what
little
you mean.
ahead of the cart.
I know what you mean.
But I'm successful that I have not shut it down yet. And crazy proud of it, crazy proud of the network that we created.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love living in Naples. I don't plan on ever living anywhere else.
Yeah, me neither. This is my home. I mean, similar. I owned a gym, obviously during COVID, so probably, similar to, restaurants and stuff. I mean, some businesses, it was like harder, but I think restaurants and like gyms, there was like a hard, like no safe zone for those things. It was, so, I mean, I lost my business too. I mean, I think I was sharing maybe on a podcast or two ago. I was like, I went from being like having the best I had ever done. I think I had like 180 clients or something, to like within a month, I was mowing yards for the school district. I mean, I went to like $15 an hour, $16 an hour to keep my business open. My wife started taking over the classes. We were renting out equipment. I mean, that's like a whole nother, like, it's like a book just in like, what
I mean, that's what you do, right? I mean, it's scary. And I never reopened. So once we closed, I never reopened. I felt, I know what it takes to open the door every day. And in a restaurant, you've got 7 or 8 employees, and I know what they cost, including rent and all your non-variable costs, right? So you open the door, it's going to cost you $4,000 a day, and there was just no way for my little businesses to get to that number. Given the density of the people in Center City, Philadelphia, and just given that everyone was living from home.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So that meant that whatever I was not bringing in the door, I was losing every day. So that calculated, okay, 5 restaurants, losing $2,000 a day.
No, trust me. I
mean, it's $100,000 and whatever.
Just at some point you're like, I'm not stupid.
Whatever it is. So, I mean, it just made no sense.
Yeah.
So
it was a hard period for like even me, like, because I didn't know quite what I was going to do. Because I was going to say, I mean, if you're into restaurants and then like a magazine, in some ways, it's like, I was going to say, like, as a kid or something, you're very, like you said before, like you can talk, you're very social, which is.
This has nothing to do with any skill set I have. I'll be quite honest with you. I mean, the formula for making a restaurant work is you're someone who's really good at cold calling. You call 100 businesses, you get 10 meetings, you get 2 people to sign up, and that's the formula. I just looked at it a little differently because cold calling to me, I'd rather wash dogs for a living or something. I hated it. Yeah, it was not something I was enjoying. So my just purpose, I guess, for the magazine was to create something that people actually really enjoyed first. So to make it a worthy product for people wanting to be in it.
Yeah,
that was number one. And how I did that was coming up with a formula of the cover and telling a lot of people's stories so that those people were supported. And I'm not, no harm, no foul on my competition. It's just that's not their focus. They're more of a 1%, 2% kind of a magazine that talks about jets and boats and cars and jewelry and stuff that's not really that's not our ball game right now.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is building our business. So I tell stories about building businesses, and I tell the story of why people have done that. And so we're basically an entrepreneur's magazine. And hopefully people see that this is in the community. Yeah. And these are the people that help make this community great. And not everything. I mean, there's a lot of people that do a lot of great things here. It's just there's very few powerhouse businesses here, right? There's NCH Hospital, there's Arthrex, there's different stuff. But I mean, it's not like you just come down to Naples and say, I want a job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You'll get a job, but not the job that you're
probably wanting
leaving Philadelphia or Ohio or Chicago with.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And when I moved here, I didn't even have a job. So I moved here with like a little bit of money and just kind of figured it out. I was going to be a handyman because I have, kind of owned a gym, put up Christmas lights on the side, but mostly a gym. Then I moved down here and I thought maybe I'll be like a handyman because I'm handy. And I went and did like one job and it was like in a trailer or something. And I was like, this ain't it, babe. Like told my wife, like, this isn't it. So I went back to Christmas lights because I knew like I can always make a little bit of money, and then it just took off, Yeah,
and,
I mean, slowly. I mean, it wasn't like overnight.
I mean, what I tell everyone that asks me, I mean, if you're doing this now, if you're doing this 10 years from now, you're the guy that has 10 years experience. And maybe there's some guy in your space that you know about that's been doing it for 10 years before you, but anyone could come in here and start their business, but you're the guy who's been here for 10 years. You're the guy who made the relationships. You're the guy that helped somebody out.
Yeah.
And I don't care if that's social media company starting now with a 25-year-old which is young to live here, right?
Sure.
So 25-year-old getting married, having kids. My God. I mean, by the time the girl's 35 years old, she's going to have a 10-year-old company with a bunch of clients, a bunch of results.
And doing probably pretty well.
I would say doing really well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, and I think that's true for the lighting. I think it's true for the magazine. So it's just, no matter what we're talking about, Collier County and Naples is just, and Bonita Springs, these are very young towns.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I don't have the history, but I think in the 80s, most of these roads were sand.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. It certainly doesn't feel that way now. But in our lifetime, this was a slow, sleepy little town.
Sure.
So the transformation has happened probably in the last 20 to 30 years, to where it feels like a metropolis suburb. A big. It feels like a suburb of a big town.
Yeah, I feel like when you talk to somebody that's like lived here, like born, they're like how fast it's changed. Like I remember when, Collier was, whatever, out in the woods or something. And now it's like,
I'm 55 years old. I would say most of my peers that have been here for 25, 30 years have made several $1 million just buying and selling homes for their family to live in.
Yeah.
Like that's how much growth has happened for them.
That's crazy.
Right? They had a house, they made some money on it, they sold it, they bought a bigger house. Just doing that every couple of years.
That's crazy.
Moving their family into home has probably made several $1 million, regardless of their business.
Yeah. What do you love about Naples? Like, what's your?
It's the people, and I know that sounds pretty cliche, but I love that it's a melting pot of people from all over the place that have chosen Naples to live in, and the stories that come along with that. Yeah. So, most of my years have been in the northeast corridor, and there's not a big difference between New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia. It's a very similar human being.
Yeah.
Love them to death, but it's a very similar thing. So even though I went to college in Denver and lived in these big cities and met people from all over, never really spent a lot of time with people from Minnesota and Wisconsin and Detroit and upper state Michigan and Chicago and Indiana. I dated an Indiana girl who grew up in Toronto. Like that's a whole new person for me.
A whole new,
and she's a big, strong Serbian family from Canada.
So
it's all really brand new for me. And I love the focus. I have returned to the Philadelphia, New York area a couple times since I moved here, and I take it for granted, but I just love the casualness, there's just a wonderful way down here that does not feel pressure filled. And go up there. I honestly needed to decompress a little bit when I got back. I was like, it was like running. It was like running. It was like sprinting all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm getting older, I guess.
Yeah. I was just telling somebody maybe a couple of days ago, when we moved, we used to, from Kansas City, we used to, go down to Destin, and then I made a little bit more money. Then we would fly to Destin, but I mean, it was really as far as we had ever gone. But every time we would we'd be going back home like, oh man, we got to go back to Kansas and then, whatever. No offense to my Kansas.
I spend time in Kansas City. My magazine's from Kansas City.
Yeah, I think you told
me. And
I
built a restaurant in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think you told me that now that you say that. I think we talked about that. But it's nothing against Kansas.
It's certainly not Naples.
But that's what I was saying. That's what's crazy.
Or Destin, I guess.
We go to Kansas now, and now we're like, normally when you go home, we're like, oh man, I can't wait to get home, because it's just like, it's home, man. And
Naples spoiled it. Listen, I'm sure there is somewhere better than this to live. I'm just not going to go find it. And I don't really care that it exists. I've gone places and seen enough where I'm incredibly comfortable with my decision that this is where I'm going to be.
Me too.
And
every time I go to another beach or something, I can appreciate it. But I mean, we'll just be like, man, it's just not as nice as Naples.
And I still like going away to beach vacations and go different islands in Mexico and whatever. But Man, I just adore where we live. And,
Yeah.
and I'm sure people from other places are like, shut up. Like,
Yeah,
that's enough.
I know, right?
And you're like, hey, listen, I certainly never thought I'd be sitting here talking about it like this.
Me neither.
I didn't talk about Philadelphia like this. I can tell you that.
Yeah, me neither. I think with
In Philadelphia, I was like, it's tough. It's hard. It's like a sport all the time.
yeah, they kind of whooped my Chiefs this year in the Super Bowl, but that's another
Greatest day of my life.
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad for me, but it was bad for everybody to watch the Super Bowl.
Listen,
But
you guys have had your time.
yeah,
I'm telling you straight out. For the Eagles, on any game, I don't even care if it's Super Bowl, to be winning so convincingly by the third quarter where you could just sit and enjoy the fourth quarter.
That must have been nice.
I'm not even talking about gloating. I'm just saying like,
Yeah, we got this one.
Or even if we don't, we can get all ramped up again. We have 14 minutes to get ramped up. Like just taking it easy, be like, oh, okay.
It was actually the opposite for us. I mean, we're used to like, oh man, it don't
Come
matter.
back.
We're always gonna come back. And I was like, everybody probably watching, probably Philly too, is like, dang.
Well, they certainly could.
Yeah, but then you got to a point, probably like in the third quarter, where I mean, I was like throwing my shirt, like it's over, it's done. There's no way. It's like turn this crap off, and then you just kind of watch it and go, well, there's always next year. Which I saw today actually on SportsCenter. Yeah, like the Chiefs, how they have these predictions to win, and it's the Eagles and the Chiefs again, and they're like the exact same numbers. So I was like, I mean, whether you like the Chiefs or hate them, they're probably going to be there a while. But same with Philly.
Look, we can talk about a formula for the NFL. I think the greatest one ever proven is if you're not looking for a superstar quarterback for 12 years or 20 years, like a Brady, right?
Yeah.
You can work on all the other pieces.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it is. And if you keep your coach in place, you keep you keep building great managers.
Yeah.
And you have this quarterback and you can build offensive and defensive lines and then all these other pieces.
Yeah.
That's how you have a good team for a really long time.
Yep. I agree.
How many teams have a great quarterback for a long time? And that's where you start seeing things like, all right, well, Dallas, right? So is Prescott a great quarterback? We don't know yet.
Yeah.
But you're banking on he is, so you can build all those other pieces, right?
Yeah.
But you've already decided to pay him. Mm-hmm. So you might as well start building all your pieces and see if by adding all these other pieces, if he ever does become great.
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not in a division where the Eagles are doing the same thing and at a higher level.
Yeah, right. It's always going to be somebody like that's us in the Bills. It's like no matter what, it's like, man, every time you play the Bills, you're like, this is going to be a shootout.
You know they're going to be good next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Detroit's going to be good next year.
It's like,
and we know Washington Redskins are going to be good next year.
Yeah. I know actually the last night the Chiefs and 49ers Super Bowl was on like from 2023. And it was like I clicked it on real quick on TV while it was on. And I was like, oh man, it kind of got me excited for football again. Like you know what I mean? When you see a game on, you're like, oh man, August is like, it's getting there where you're like, all right, I'm going to start seeing some football back on, and I'm not a huge baseball guy, so it's kind of like the summers are.
Isn't that funny? We grew up probably watching baseball, and I can't even do it anymore.
Yeah, well,
I do like going to games.
Yeah,
I don't watch the game. I just watch
like
the humans. But I don't. I'll like see you see a hit.
Yeah,
but I don't sit on for TV for 3 hours watching a baseball game. But as a kid,
yeah.
Probably every night.
Yeah, exactly. Same, yeah. And the I think I'm not I just like the Royals are like actually really good. They got Bobby Witt Jr. is like probably maybe arguably the best player in the league. But growing up, like the Royals were good. Like I'm born in 81, Royals were good in 85. But then after that, for pretty much my whole childhood, like they were the laughing stock. So it was like, man, you were always embarrassed to be like, oh, I'm a Royals fan.
You could root for the Cardinals. You
could
root for all Midwest teams.
But now that they're kind of, and they had their runs where they won a couple in like 2016 or 2018. But
George Brett, baby.
Yeah, the old George Brett, number 5, Bo Jackson. But so back to you, man. So you start this magazine, you move here, you're not really sure.
Well, I bought a magazine, so it was already going for 2 years. So that was part of, you can say what chicken or egg, right? Either you start it, it's really hard. You buy it, it's really hard. Which one do I prefer? But with mine, there was already a predetermination that it was a pretty bad magazine. And what most people don't know is this is the most competitive magazine market in the country. There's 66 magazines for 350,000 people.
In Naples?
Yeah.
Oh,
in
wow.
Collier County.
I didn't know that.
There's 66 magazines. And Golf Shore Life is the #1 private magazine in the whole country. They're so big. They own the news channel. They own the billboards. They own the newspaper.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a big conglomerate.
Is that magazine, is that just Naples though, or are they?
Gulf Shore Life is considered Marco Island to Sarasota. It's Southwest
but it's
Florida.
it's not all over the country.
I mean, it's in Bonita Springs. The headquarters is here.
Gotcha.
Gulf Shore Life is, I think it's 50 years old or 40 to 50 years old.
Wow.
Been here forever. It's always been the magazine.
Yeah.
It's 400 pages.
Yeah.
Mine's 60.
Yeah. No.
Mine's 60. They're 450 pages.
Yeah. I'm in the similar position, and like there's some of my competitors, have been here for like a long time, and then you come in and like I'm still doing really good with my Christmas light company and stuff, but you're just competing against sometimes people where it's like I don't even really compare myself to them because it's like, dude, it's so different.
The only way to compete is really pricing and delivering equal or exceeding their value.
Yeah.
And making that up by the referrals that you get from that business. But you got to pick and choose those moments.
Was there a moment when you started, you take it over and it's yours and you just kind of, with no prior experience?
4 months in, I was like, I have a business partner and this wonderful guy named Tim Chu. And I looked at him and I said, whatever we're doing right now has 2 or 3 months left, and then we're gonna be out. He said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I have to make a magazine that people actually want to read, and I need to do that by throwing so many networking events that I bring the humans together better than anyone else.
Yeah.
And so what I thought was going to take me to the rest of the year took me another 6 months past there. So it was a full year of pretty much losing money, putting things together, figuring it out. It was very, very, bubble gum and tape kind of situation. But, you fight or flight, right? I mean, you fail or win. And we figured out some things in that time that are what is existing today. So it just became about events, not just doing events, but becoming a real powerhouse in events and networking here in Naples, and being very genuine and authentic and telling the stories of the people we meet.
Yeah. So
this is very much a reflection of my life. Everybody in here is someone that I touch along the way and say, I'd like to tell your story.
Yeah. And I can say, like from my experience, like just being new and kind of, trying to figure out my own business. So, everybody here in Naples, we hit season, and which is about May, through November or October probably. And in some ways it's good. Less you can get into a restaurant without. It's not good for restaurants, but for citizens, it just depends on what business.
I love the summers.
Yeah, everything's good about it. Other than every time I see the car moving companies come and they're loading up the cars, you're like, okay, summer's here, but I'm always like, I like wishing it away because it's like almost like my phone stops ringing and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like.
So look, everyone is acknowledging that there is a percentage of people that live in the really big homes, right? We'll call it Old Naples. We'll call it where the magazine goes.
Yeah.
That these people are majority 6 months in a day or less residents of Naples. That's just a fact.
Sure.
But I find it the greatest time and the greatest opportunity to make long-lasting relationships.
I would agree.
So I throw a lot of events and get people together, the people that live here year-round, to strategize on that, because there just really does not seem time or energy to do that in season.
Yeah.
And it's not because these people return. It's the hustle bustle of life, right? Traffic is different. Kids are in school. There's an event. There's an important event at least once a week.
Yeah.
There's other events almost every night.
Yeah.
I could go to 2 to 3 events an evening. I really could. What I'm invited to and whatever. So, and that's on top of the 2 a week I throw. But now there's nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I throw events. I threw 5 events last week. That was not on purpose, but I did it because I committed to doing it, and I wasn't looking at a calendar well. And I said, oh, yeah, June? Yeah, we can do whatever you want in June. And I booked 5 events in 1 week. And I had some that had 15, 20 people. I had one. I had others that were 40, 50. And I had one that was 100. And so you just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. But they were even small, they were successful. People met. People made relationships. Your whole job is to If you come to an event and you meet one or two people that is a solid intro for either your personal life or your professional life, you're winning. That's at that times 10 events, that's you've met 10 to 20 people that are in your life one way or another.
And a lot of your meetings, one thing I like is they're somewhat early, you know. So if you got someone that
4 to 6, 5 to 7.
Yeah, I got kids, and it's like, you know, hey, you come off work. A lot of times I can just, it's not like I got to go home, get comfortable, and then it's like, oh, it's at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and you're like, back.
Kids are already in bed.
Yeah.
And
my wife said,
also,
what are you doing?
You can come for 45 minutes to an hour. You don't have to come for all 2 hours.
Yeah.
You can come to the 5 to 6 or the 4 to 5.
Yeah. And when I first started coming, you know, I think I'm very social. I don't have a problem talking, you know, that's no secret. But, you know, when you go to any kind of a networking event, I guess, well, let me rephrase it. What would before I share my side of it, what would you say, like, where do you think business owners go wrong? Like, okay, just like me, hey, you know, I'm advertising, I'm doing Google, I'm doing Facebook, whatever, you know, direct mailers, whatever people are doing. And then this comes into, like you were saying, making relationships and networking.
There's not a person you know in business that will tell you their number one way they get customers is referrals. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, how do you meet those people? Right?
Yeah.
Probably from meeting someone, talking to them for, like, I would say it's less than 50% are people calling you and saying, can you come to my house and give me a bid?
Yeah.
Meaning they had to see your business somewhere.
Yeah.
It's more likely you were somewhere. It could be at a coffee shop and waiting in line and somebody finds out what you're doing, or you have a friend that knows you're doing this and that someone asked that friend, hey, I'm thinking about doing that. Oh, you should talk to my friend Cory.
Yeah.
That's how the relationships are made. So it's again, it sounds very cliche-ish, but it's way above a one-dimensional ad to magazine is get yourself out to as many events, meet the humans as many as possible, tell them without a pressure sales pitch what you do and why you love what you're doing, because passion is addictive, right?
Yeah.
Pressure is not addictive.
Right.
A sales pitch is not addictive.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But passion about what you do, is addictive.
Yeah, like in a natural setting.
And so, you know, instead of looking for a return on investment, just keep investing.
Yeah.
The people that are calculated, that are trying to, you know, people that sell really expensive things are crazy targeted to the people in their room, right? And this is at no fault of what I'm going to talk about, but had a meeting with a very high-end car dealer. We had lunch. We are looking for a room full of people that can afford
our cars,
our $300,000 cars.
Yeah,
I go, well, good luck with that. Mm-hmm. One, because people that have money know when they're being targeted.
Yeah.
If that person wants your car, they know where to find you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you have to have some smoke and mirrors here. There have to be some people in the room that they like to hang out with that necessarily can't afford your three. So you're looking to fill that room with maybe 5% or less of the people that can afford your cars.
Right. Yeah. No.
That's how you're gonna do it. Now, then there's the, you know, Naples Wine Festival brunch. Everyone in that room knows they're in that room for a reason. Whether it's the funnest thing in the world, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. God bless everybody that can afford to go to that thing. But they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know they're spending $50,000 for brunch to go to the auction. And have a chance to bid on this stuff. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But good luck getting those people to go to just somewhere because you think your product's so great and we should be in that room. That's just not.
That's difficult.
That's not how a sale is made.
Dream sequence. Hey, Greg, you know what? I want you to just find me 100 people that don't have, you know, Christmas lights or landscape lighting, and that they're actually looking for it too.
But again, most of the people that you end up doing jobs with are referrals from a friend that knows what you're doing, and someone came to them and said, I think we should do this, or an interior designer, you know, says this house is perfect for this. Yeah,
exactly. Because you don't know who's friends with, I guess if I use my own business and I'm landscape lighting or Christmas lighting, landscape lighting in the summer, you don't know that somebody's best friends with a builder that's like just complain about his landscape lighting guy. Or
80% of the people in my magazine come from a friend telling them, they said, I started a business, I can't believe how slow I am, or how do I get my name out there, or how do I fix this? And their friend goes, well, you need to go meet Greg Dodge.
Yeah.
You need to go to his party. You need to introduce yourself. Or I know a friend that knows him and I'm going to introduce you. That's 80% of the people I know.
Yeah.
It's not me cold calling.
Yeah.
It's if you want to, you can go put an ad in whatever. You can do a Google ad. You can, whatever you want to do. We all know how to do that. Everyone can do that.
Yeah.
You probably already, I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure.
do it, whatever it is. But for what I'm doing, they go, you want to meet people? Go talk to Greg.
Yeah, I think that was what you had, you were talking to me when I was trying to, just figuring out my own business, which is, probably similar to anybody that owns a business that's listening. It's like, you're trying to think, okay, well, I'm new here, which a lot of people are, that have been here 5 years. 4 years.
My network is under 90% is lived here under 5 years, is an independent contractor or small business owner. 70% women, 50% of those women are single. That is my network. That is 100% my network.
Yeah. So talk about being dialed in. I don't know what my demographic is. I probably need to get better about that. But I think for like a lot of people, it's okay, well, how do I start? It's, again, going back to like me being, a very social person, I usually don't have a hard time finding a friend, but I think I think a lot of people have insecurity. Maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, but like, you go to this deal, like, I don't know anybody. It's like the first day of school, you're walking in. I'm like, man, am I going to be dressed the right way? Am I going to be overdressed, underdressed? And then like, at least this is just my own emotions walking you through, like walking in the first time. And you're like, okay, the only person I know is Greg. I met him for coffee for 45 minutes. We talked. I'm not willing to say he's a friend of mine. I don't know anybody at this deal, but I can honestly say, like, yeah, it's hard. It's a little bit, it's not the party. It's just the situation where like, that's my own thing. But once I did it, it's like every time that I go to one, and I've gone to probably 5 parties now, something like that, maybe, I see more people that I know. And it's like, oh, I'm a little bit more excited to go. So I'm like, oh, I know at least so-and-so's going to be there. And then you meet somebody new. And it's like, but I see other people that have been coming and they're having a blast.
1, 2. You meet 2 people each time. 2 to 4 to 8 to 16.
Yeah.
And now you know half the room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. Because if you don't, you won't ever get a referral.
Math is math, baby.
Yeah. Until.
Now, maybe there's people that meet 4 people. That's the difference in math.
Yeah.
But just showing up and sticking your hand out, you're going to meet 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And you're going to meet 1 or 2 people that can help you in the business, meaning they're general contractors, they're real estate agents, they're interior design. I'd say 50% of our network is home service based.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have a 50% chance meeting someone who has some connection to what you do.
To what I do, or has an avatar
100%.
of a customer that I'm looking for. And I'm like, oh man, why don't we work together on this or whatever? But it's also a shame. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't think that way. They don't like, it's like almost like I can do it. I kind of probably was even like that at first. Just, it's all Google ads and Facebook.
I wasn't created in an incubator when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I've been running restaurants since I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
My whole job is networking, meeting people and smiling and,
yeah.
Just kind of doing that. That's, my parents were incredibly skilled at it. Like you train for it. Like anything you're good at, I've been training for this my whole life, but it certainly wasn't cold calling people on a phone.
Yeah.
Zero training at that. You know how good I was at that?
Yeah.
No matter what I'm good in human beings, I was horrible.
Yeah.
I was unproductive. Mm-hmm. I had 0 sales.
Yeah.
But if you meet me and you want to talk, you want to hear my passion, you want to tell me why I really like this and why I think I can help.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
And I think that is like just meeting you originally. Like I was sharing before, we got to stop having conversations before the almost everybody that I've talked to. Do we have these fire conversations? And then I'm like, why are we not recording? This is gold. But you gave me some good ideas. So I'm also like sharing this because I believe in what you do, and I think that you have some great ideas. Like you gave me some ideas we were talking about before, just about how like things that I could do with my business. Like I had never even considered it as an option. And so anybody out there that's like in this, that's watching this, it's like, man, this sounds great, but like, I was like, I mean, dude, you were approachable. You answered my phone. You met me for coffee like the next day, and you weren't like asking me for anything other than just trying to learn about my business and how you could help, really.
I don't like to be so. For 20 years, I was on the other side of being sold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And I think I took one magazine out my 20 years I owned restaurants, like just because I liked the guy.
Yeah.
So that I already knew what that felt like. I already knew what my formula was. But I mean, all I'm selling is my time, really.
Yeah.
So I have to make use of my time. So when somebody reaches out and they're anxious to meet me, I'm anxious to meet them.
Yeah.
Can't do it all the time, but
Yeah,
if I have an open space that I want to have that conversation, want to do whatever. But what you were talking about was me having an idea for your business. But again, that comes from, it's not an incubator. I'm not some marketing genius. I owned restaurants for 20 years.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how to get people in the door. I build a restaurant. I have good service. I have good value, but that's not enough in a competitive city like Philadelphia to make that work. You have to constantly be thinking of new ways to catch someone's eye or create that first experience, which turns into a referral.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah.
So, my idea was just from a restaurant brain, which let me tell you, it doesn't have, restaurant skill set does not have a lot of open market value because it's kind of like a Swiss knife. It's like, jack of all trades, expert of none except restaurants.
Yeah.
It's not transferable to insurance sales.
Oh, sure.
You have some skill sets of an insurance salesman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what
pick some little pieces of it.
But it's not, restaurant is extremely specific to restaurant.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't change. It's like, if you own a restaurant, hey, if you get out of the business, I'd go right into insurance.
What restaurant experience really is the ability to literally get beaten up all the time and still keep a happy face on, keep a good thing. I mean, it's professional problem solving at the highest level. And the reason people leave is it's just like, I can make this money driving a cab.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have to love it. There's no other reason to be in the restaurant business.
I think it would be a hard business.
The only reason to be in it is you truly love it.
Yeah.
You love the humans that work in it. You actually like the people that come in the door. You're proud of the product you're serving. Other than that, you could run a Walgreens and never talk to a human being.
Yeah.
And just run a Walgreens.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing. I felt blessed by it. I never thought I'd own one restaurant, let alone 10. But when it's going great, you're a movie star. But when it's going bad, it feels it's the weight of the world. It's an incredibly up and down, challenging. There's no solutions when it's going bad. Turning around a restaurant, it might be an under 2% chance you can turn a restaurant around.
Yeah.
Once it starts going bad, it goes bad fast.
It seems like, I just use Naples and I know nothing about it other than just like there's so many choices.
You're just watching millions of dollars burn.
Yeah.
With no water to put out the fire. The only solution to saving it is close the doors, change the name, relaunch something, which is throwing a whole new capital into that process.
Yeah.
And there's a whole saying of lipstick on a pig. I mean, just going in and changing the paint color and leaving the seating and calling your Italian restaurant a steakhouse all of a sudden probably isn't going to change anything. It's not going to change the customer's opinion. It's usually redoing the whole thing.
So what's your advice to a business that's what's the magic recipe for, they want to get featured in the magazine or, they want to just build their business. I mean, do you have I know you said you're not a marketing expert and I'm not trying to position you as one.
No, I believe the formula in Naples is to support your brand and facial recognition. You're doing this by a podcast. You're going to do it by showing up at parties. You're going to maybe do it by an ad one day.
Yep.
But that's really what a one-dimensional ad does. To think that a one-dimensional ad, that somebody looks at this ad and says, I'm going to call that wealth manager and give them my $1 million because what an ad. Those three ladies on the beach. Wow.
Sure.
I'm not making fun of her ad.
Right.
Why, if that's the case, why does this wealth manager invest in this ad? brand and facial recognition. Because when she does meet that person in person, and they go, that's a nice lady, I trust her. Now I'm ready to find a wealth manager. I remember meeting that lady.
Yeah.
And you might be like, I would never call it. Nice lady, but I don't want her managing my money, or she's exactly what I'm looking for. All that does is reinforce that constant thing. I've seen that, whatever. This tea clinics, I'm on it right now.
Yeah.
So I've lost 20 pounds, trying my best to lose more.
I was going to ask you
It's
about
a struggle.
that.
Yeah, well, it's so what Jeff does so well, and he's been here for 20 plus years. I think he's
Oh yeah,
I think he's had way over 20,000 customers.
very knowledgeable.
But look, this guy's method works, and I've done Ozempic and some things and shots and things before. Yeah. What he adds to the solution that I haven't had before is I take about 20 holistic pills a day, and what that has done with my social life, which means I'm drinking at least 5 days a week, and I don't drink 2 drinks. Okay, which is part of the weight gain, of course, for 50 years.
Yeah.
Right? The liver stops to work. The gallbladder stops to work. So your system starts going, whoa, we gotta take time off so we can rejuvenate this thing. So what these pills have provided me so far is regulated my system, helped repair my liver, my gallbladder, these other organs, to a place where it's now working at a really good level. Yeah. And I've been going to, I call it green juice camp, but I've been going to a place called We Care Spa for 14 years, a very expensive week off of your life where you drink green juice, apple juice, carrot juice. That's it. No salads, no nothing. And you just basically, you pre-detox and you take 14 days off your life. You shut down, you go live in the desert.
Oh, wow.
In this beautiful resort. And you get a massage every day and you just detox.
You just like relax kind of
detox and you just zen out and you just start over. Yeah. And your system starts working again. He's basically doing that without going on the detox. So now my system's working. So with the testosterone, with the working out, with the, hey, let's take a couple nights off, getting results. And I don't have enough to say about the guy. But again, you can listen to this podcast. You can hear the names, T Clinics in Navinia.
Yeah.
Right?
Jeff Delaney,
and
whatever.
Jeff Delaney. And it goes, in one ear, out the other, whatever. But then you see an ad. You go, you know what? That's what that guy, Greg Dodge, was talking about. And he's had these great results. And right here, I got a QR code right here. Just put my phone on it. Boom.
Yep.
How many people will do that? No idea.
Yeah.
But it's a thing. And there's a reason this magazine works. Because every magazine says something about, like, each one of it's a culture. The Scout Guide's a culture. If you're in Gulf Shore Life, what does it say about you? If you're in Naples Illustrated, what does it say about you? And for the most part, it says that we've been in Naples for a long time. We're not the people here just for 5 years. This is our town. This is our 40-year-old town. These are the people that started this town and the kids of those people.
Yeah.
That's what those magazines are about, which is beautiful. It's just not what we're doing. And I love when people who have been here for a while want to join our network because they're expanding their network. They don't have to. They know everybody that's been here before, but they see all the opportunity to now tap into a whole new group of people.
Yeah, and
doing special things.
There's another part of I don't know if it's part of the magazine, but it's like the social club, right?
All that is Naples Social Club is just all the events we throw, and so I wanted to reward people who wanted to come to our events by just charging them once a year instead of $20 a ticket every single event.
Yeah,
I learned very early on in Naples that if you don't charge for a ticket, people will say they're coming, then they don't show up, and more than me from a cost standpoint, I want them to have the value of the ticket to say, okay, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And if you blow off $20, you blow off $20. I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
But I have like 95% attendance by people that buy tickets, and I have 50% attendance when I give it for free.
Yeah.
And that's and that affects my party.
Yeah.
And so I learned very early on that there's a group of people that I want at all my parties. So they are in the Naples Social Club. People can join Naples Social Club. But if you come to 10 events a year, it pays for itself.
Yeah.
So that's less than one a month.
Yeah.
And so, but again, you can pay every single time if you want. It just, I think most people that say, boy, I really enjoy this, I'm going to definitely come to more than once a month.
So might as well.
So you might as well just join. And
Sure.
then there's a business partnership to that too. But and now I'm making exclusive events that are just for Naples Social Club members, which was always coming, but everything takes some time to develop. So our first Naples Social Club exclusive event coming up is we have the whole top floor of the Perry for the July launch party. So that's just for Naples Social Club members. In October, on October 15th, actually, we have a very exclusive party at The Butcher, which is a private club here in Naples.
Yeah, I'm aware.
And Lamborghini is going to be a sponsor, and McAllen Balvini, and Velco, who's actually on the cover here. We're throwing the party with him, and it's a really special thing. So again, for some people, that might be a reason to join the club. We don't mean to exclude anybody, but that party can only have 150 people.
Yeah.
Our network is, we have over 21,000 followers, local followers here in on social media.
Yeah.
How far is 100? I want the room filled with the people that support us year round.
Yeah. I was going
and
to
that's
say,
Naples Social Club.
you do a good job with your social media. I feel like, as someone before, I'm sure this is a normal thing most people do, even if it's my own business. They see it, then they go to your social, then they go here, and they end up on your website. But like for me, when I was like just trying to honestly learn, kind of going back to what you said about face recognition, is you see these people in the pictures and you're like, okay, who's this person? Who's that person? Maybe you know somebody. And then, And then when you go to a party or whatever, I'm like, I don't know them, but I'm like, I've seen them. That person is so-and-so. Things like that. So, it actually does work.
Well, look, you just explained it. So when it was failing, I said, I need to throw parties. Throwing the parties led to pictures. Pictures went to social media. People grew our social media. So when we first started that process, we were 4,000 followers. We now organically grow 500 or more a month.
Wow.
Because people go to the functions, want to see the pictures of them.
Yeah.
Now, again, my network is under 5 years, 70% women, 50% signal. So I'm not being creepy by showing that we just have a room of beautiful women having cocktails.
Yeah,
That's
right.
just what the room is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then half of the women are with their husbands, and the other half are whatever. And there's, I date somebody, but there's men and business people and whatever, and it's a great mixture. And you're there doing social and business things, and
So
that's what our room is. So but if without my social media, the magazine is still a one-dimensional piece. With social media and the network and the magazine, now it's a three-pronged effect, right? So if you say Google Ads, okay, well, it's social media, right? Or searching, but how many times are you searching?
Yeah, right.
Are you searching for screwdrivers?
Not the ones
you're
usually
probably
ones.
on social media.
Yeah.
The social media is taking you to an ad that has a Google ad because it's content-based advertising, right?
Yeah.
So that's social media. So now you, with one-stop shopping with me, you're meeting the humans, you have your social media support, and you have an in-print direct magazine going to an incredible demographic, which, by the way, is seen 3 times more digitally than it is by print. So the people, 98% of the people that are in my network don't live in Old Naples.
Yeah, right.
They live in other places in
But they're
Collier
still
County or
reading
being
it.
experienced, but they want to see the magazine, they want to see their friends. They're probably in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We put pictures from the parties in it for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. So you got ahead of me on this. I always like to ask people, because I'm always just genuinely curious about, since you mentioned fitness, and I was actually going to say that before you even mentioned T clinics and all that stuff. I've been seeing you on social media at a gym lately or whatever. And so I just wanted to ask you, how's...
It took me a while. So, I've pretty much done almost every workout here. And what I find with Naples is, as great as it is and as small as it is, it still takes a half an hour to go from South Naples to North Naples.
Yeah.
So if Cycle Bar is truly one of my favorite workouts in town, but I've only really lived in South Naples, like near downtown. So to drive collectively 50 minutes to an hour to work out for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Not an incredibly productive.
Yeah, no, I totally
not a
understand
productive
it.
ex-
I go to a gym that I don't even really like because it's by my house. Because like the ones I want to go to, it's like an hour. I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I mean, round trip for sure, right? So I found Pure Skills Fitness, which is basically at the end of Golden Gate Boulevard, which my girlfriend and I have lived there. And the guy, the husband-wife team that own it are just fantastic. I love the workout. It's a strong 45-minute workout. They also offer something that is very important in my life, which is sauna and cold plunge. Now theirs gets a little too. They have the one room and they only have X number of hours they're open, so it's hard to get in that one. And so I have found a new business that's actually just joining the magazine called Reset Wellness Lounge, which is across from Loudermill Park.
Yeah.
And I've been going every day. I went this morning. This first thing I do out of my house, if I'm not going to the gym and then going thereafter,
like
I
your
go
morning
straight
routine.
there and I get in my sauna, I get my cold plunge, I get done with it. And today, instead of before, I went on my 3 mile Park Shore walk, which is my zen out.
That's what I was gonna
Look
ask
at the
you.
ocean.
Yeah.
It's not great for my face, you know. Even with a hat, you get sun, and you know, I plan on being here for whatever another 20 years or so. So I think my face is going to be pretty raisined out after a while. But
yeah, I have like my own rules with the sun. I got like a 45-minute time thing, and then it's like we'll go to like out to eat. I don't know if you ever do this, but you see somebody that comes in that's scorched or like tourist, you know, like they don't know no better. My kids.
well, I'm English and Swedish, so even in this base, you can see redness on my skin every single day.
My kids will even say it. They'll just be like, "Oh, tour." That's like they've almost like we've adapted to it or whatever, and we'll have like family come down like, "Hey, listen, I know you know that when you go to the beach, you got to put something on. Like, you guys need to put sunscreen on like right away because you guys are done. If you guys freaking, and it always never fails. There's somebody that freaking
Here,
gets
I'll
roasted.
give you a gift card right now to Reset. You need to try this place out.
Oh.
So I know you have the sauna place up here, which seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't
But if you're
have
down-
a place
but if-
that I, okay.
Well, yeah, the sauna house has the
Thank
same
you.
thing.
Okay,
Sauna
yeah.
house has the same thing, but go take me up on that. It's a
Yeah.
really beautiful. They also have
Thank you.
they have red light treatment, and they also have IV.
All right, heck yeah. man.
Yeah, no, it's
Thank
a
you.
great spot. And then let me know if you ever want to go to Pure Skills Fitness. There's two classes. There's a boot camp, which is four stations that have 4 different exercise per station. Crazy cardio.
Yeah.
Like you get out there, you're like
Sweating.
And then the build-up series is, let's see here, 20 machines, 2 minutes per machine plus a rest in between.
Yeah.
But you do
Just takes
20 stations.
Just takes the thinking out for you. You just
Just
go
20,
in.
you're just next. And really well coached. And you have a full body workout.
Yeah.
And it's less cardio, but you're still sweating because you're moving. I like both very much.
Cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, well, good for you for getting in there. I mean, like I said, I own a gym, so I always have a passion for it. But I seen you and I was like, man, I think Greg's been putting in the work. You start to notice it, and I mean, you're being humble about it, and that's completely fine. But it's just good to see you be like.
Even when I was looking at my worst, I was still going to the gym 5-6 days. I always say
it's nutrition, dude.
Well, I just say, you know, I work really hard to look this bad. Like
Yeah.
I work out really hard to look this bad. Like I should be wearing like a muumuu.
Yeah,
But I
know what you mean.
I think
though.
it's that, you know, unfortunately, I have a drinking social life that is, you know, you are what you throw down your pie hole. And, you know, I'm not throwing sub sandwiches down my throat. Just the drinking is enough of a calorie boost that my body's just, no matter what I can burn off during the day with the bright things I do, it's kind of at a break even or a loss.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a hard lifestyle.
As I've gotten older, does not mean I've gotten smarter, but my body does tell me that I'm crazy and I need to take a break and be healthier. And so that has been a new change.
Yeah.
But I've been struggling my weight when I was running a restaurant, when you're running a restaurant, you're literally probably walking 5 miles a day. You can do whatever you want. You can eat, drink whatever you want. You don't gain weight. You're just walking for 5 miles a day.
Wow.
That's your job.
I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. I mean, if you're in a busy New York restaurant or Philly restaurant or whatever.
I guess I got to get to New York.
Yeah.
But
Even the Philly restaurants, like, I mean, it was a real calorie burn.
Yeah.
And you could just do whatever. And when I started owning restaurants and more meeting with investors and drinking and talking or just being, instead of running my restaurant, just being in my restaurant saying hi to guests, you're still like more of a guest. And my weight really started to change and couldn't balance in the stress of everything. I probably gained pretty close to 5 to 10 pounds a year.
Yeah.
From 35 to 50.
Yeah. It's gonna feel great when you get it. You're already 20 pounds, you feel great. So
yeah,
you'll continue to do it, but now I'm gonna keep you accountable. I'm gonna say,
Please
Greg,
do. Please
next
do.
time I see you, are you still working out?
Yell at me.
That's just what you want to see when you're not eating something bad. That's how it usually goes. Like, oh, this guy. Okay, so kind of,
Well, T Clinic does, and Nuvia does a really good job of that too. They make it simple for you, but again, I'm out 5 nights a week, so I'm not eating boiled chicken.
Yeah, and broccoli.
That's not what I'm eating. That's not on the menu. So I have to do the smart eating during the day when I am home.
Yeah, you got to kind of like almost.
So that's the counterbalance.
Kind of put your stuff in there. So we always do a segment at the end called the brighter side, and it's just some like rapid. It's not really even rapid fire questions. Just some kind of things that
do it. Shoot.
It's going to be a personal thing, and I'm just curious, not personal, but personal, if you know what I mean. So, who is someone in your life that has been a light to you? There's just a light. There's just
a light, a bright light.
Yeah, a bright light for you.
The first one that comes to mind is my mom. Probably the most liked person I've ever met. Kind, smart, beautiful. She was actually on the cover of the magazine last year.
I bet that was cool for her.
I mean, look, no family is perfect. I was blessed with 2 amazing parents. I would have easily said my father and the same thing. My father's no longer with us, so
gotcha.
Shout out to Mom that's still alive at 85.
There you go. That's awesome.
No, I see her a lot. She's just a brilliant, kind person that because when you have that core, you don't search. Like I always know where my home is. I always know where it's kind of like having Tom Brady as quarterback for 20 years.
Yeah.
I've got the Tom Brady of moms.
Yeah, there you go.
And so I don't have to search for that. I know exactly where my love and my core is.
Yeah, okay. What about when life gets heavy, what brings you back to, the brighter side?
I'm so crazy thankful that I'm thankful. I'm not a deep religious person. In any way, shape, or form. But I do believe in gratitude, and I think I live a deeply thankful, gratuitous life. And my walk on Park Shore is a perfect. That is for me. That is not for my legs. That's for me.
That's just you,
my mental. That's my grounder. That's where I ground. And
that's fair.
I say I love you to just a football teams of people, and it is 100% authentic. That's just who I am. If I'm not your cup of tea, I'm not your cup of tea. But I am blessed with just tremendous love from every angle of my life.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it's just kind of a hodgepodge. Once I have like several questions, but
it's just a digital tape, baby.
It's just digital tape. All right. Last question for you. Let's see. What do I want to ask you on this? Sometimes after I hear you, I want to, last one. What are you working on right now personally, spiritually, or professionally that excites you and challenges you? Like, where's the magazine going? Something like that. Like, what's your goal?
Oh, that is a challenge one. Because I think we're all working on those things all the time, right?
Different aspects of it for sure.
And there's always ways up. Very, very true. I when you lose everything, you lose everything. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't felt secure financially in a really, really long time.
Yeah.
And that is a really challenging way to go through life.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's scary.
Yeah.
We all have people that depend on us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a counterbalance to that too, because you don't want to stop growing. Like you're just not taking money and just shoving it in a hole. I mean, you still have to use it, and you still have to grow, and I still have to throw parties. I still have to live my life. I still have to pay my rent, right? Mm-hmm. So what that is just getting to a certain point where you can go, okay, it's time to put a safety net away. It's time to start building back what had been lost, and never probably going to get back to where I was before, but that is something I'm greatly focused on.
Trying.
And, in the restaurant business, it was, one bad week kills 4 good weeks, right?
Yeah.
So there's always things that come up that can take you off your planned attack. But you still have to plan so that you have it for when it does go sideways.
Yeah,
so that's what I have not been able to achieve. And I'm working on that. And it's hard. It doesn't get easier as you get older. It's probably more difficult.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being honest. I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah. Cause it is. That's how I feel the same way sometimes, man. Some days I just go out. I don't freaking know. I was like, I don't want to be a business owner this week. I mean, Christmas light season, I'll cry in my car sometimes.
You wake up, you dust the stuff off your eyes, and you say, I'm going to go get it today.
Yeah.
And some days you don't have it in you. And
today
I had it in me. I was like, I got right up and started working. Yeah. And I that's a blessing to me. I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on the show today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure,
and being honest.
Good luck. Listen,
sharing.
I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah,
I'm here to help you in any way I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Goated Golf. Goated Golf, they do merch drops. So every month they have a different merch drops, and it's the greatest.
Got their putter.
Greatest of all time. So yeah,
Tim Chu, my partner, gave me a Goated putter.
They're great. They got brand new black wedges too. So their wedges just came out. They're black shafted. They're beautiful. But they do a merch drop every single month. They do, Kobe, greatest of all time, Michael Jordan.
I see it on Patrick Dearborn. I see it on Blake Becker.
Yeah. So
Goated sponsored local celebrities.
Their motto is greatest of all time. So go check them out. We'll have the links in the show notes. We'll have a link for Greg. Give him a call if you're a local business trying to
check out Naples Social Club.
Yeah, I was going to tell you. And is that where they should find you if they want to find you? Is
Naples Social Club is the best way for them to see the events and just see what's going on. The magazine's very simple. It's just citylifestyle.com/Naples, and you can look at every issue if you want. But you can reach out to me. But Naples Social Club's really easy. Just reach out.
He'll get back to you because he did with me, and very easy to get a hold of. When he's
my phone number is everywhere.
Yeah, you'll get a hold of Greg, and he'll help you out. So go check it out. But we'll have all those that information in the show notes, so you guys can go find them there. And thank you for watching the Brighter Side podcast today, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Nice job, Cory. All right, thanks.
You're welcome, man.
Appreciate you. That was a lot of fun.